Tranquility greets me as I stumble upon a classroom in a state of almost pure silence. It's early, sure, but knowing my lack of empathy towards being here, it's a surprise to find the room almost empty. Without the science club, moreover, if it wasn't for Kiyoko, I wouldn't be able to find the will to arrive at class this far in advance. Despite being marginally earlier than normal, it's still enough of a change for it to be noticeable. It has a clear effect on my actions. The culprit herself, of course, is one of the only other people to be present in this sparse morning environment.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kiyoko. That chirpy expression is enough to make me smile in accord. Thinking that we've gotten this used to each other in so little time is a funny fact in itself. Given that, thinking back on my actions from yesterday really puts the scene into perspective. I can't just walk out on Kiyoko like that. Weren't you the one who told me to stay away from her?
That's because...
I'm not going to skip the club for you. The thought of accepting Naomi's plea has admittedly been bugging me since. However, turning my back on Kiyoko just isn't the right thing to do. If it's really important enough, Naomi would give in and tell me. I might want to know more about it, but for her to make that offer, she must want me to know too. Being here for Kiyoko is just something I should be doing as her friend.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, nothing. A lot, actually. But telling her about my dealings with Naomi isn't something I think she'd want to know. Or rather, I don't think she'd be happy knowing.
Come on then. Class is about to start.
Somehow, over the short span of our conversation, the number of students in the room had increased significantly. An aura of activity now resides around me as various conversations waver in and out throughout the room. Leaving with nothing less than a slight wave, response is another warm smile as I make my way over towards my desk. The lull of classes is a good enough break to think over my situation with Kiyoko and Naomi. I've made my decision. Sitting down and stretching, a selection of the morning's conversations make their way to my ears. I'd assume it'd be like this if I sat behind Kiyoko.
Natsumi, did you hear? Hear what? Apparently, we have a new economics teacher.
The only reason why we even study economics is because of this business-oriented country. It's not as if I aspire to be an investor. I'm happy enough going about my life without any particular sense of direction. Being at school is enough as it is. Things like this make me wonder what Kiyoko plans to do with her own life.
Really? I wonder what they're like.
Time drags forward as the class waits around for a new teacher. Perhaps they're just nervous about teaching a new class, but then again, it is their job. Soon enough, a suited man makes his way into the class with a rather lax but albeit still firm expression. This must be our new teacher by looks of it. I'd be pretty concerned if the school had let a stranger make it this far into the school.
Hello, class. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves this morning. Unlike your other teachers, I aim to actually teach you something, even if you aren't that interested.
He looks over at one of my classmates at the front of the room, sprawled over his desk and for a quick nap. I know it's early, and economics isn't really that interesting, but it's still worth paying attention. If I study hard enough, one day I might become the Kiyoko of economics. Turning to face the board, the new teacher grabs a stick of chalk from the desk to scrawl his name on the board. Being known as the teacher isn't in his best interest. Even teachers had to introduce themselves.
You can call me Mr. Kabir, and I trust that you all will.
You must have heard what we call Mr. Yamamoto. Something along the lines of hermit crab. We are pretty shitty students.
Turn your textbooks to page 15. We'll get started with some questions.
Hopefully I don't get picked. It might not be along the lines of knowing the structure of a mitochondrion, but I still don't feel like answering. Haphazardly flicking through the pages of my book, I noticed Mr. Kabir panning his eyes across a list in the class. He doesn't know us, so he must be choosing someone at random on the roster. Please, don't call me. I don't want to do this gag again.
Ishikawa, answer the question at the bottom of the page.
Me? Sure.
You're the only Ishikawa in this class. Springing from her seat with a smile on her face, Kiyoko scans the book before her to find the question set upon her.
In a free market, prices adjust to reconcile scarcity and desires.
Kyoko's response, a chirpy and cute proclamation of something so mundane, brings a smile to my face. My economics class can't be this cute.
That's right. Your previous teacher must have taught you well.
Or more likely, it's Kiyoko. Either way, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. I might not enjoy economics, but I don't think I'll hate his lessons. Class quickly reaches an end after the lunch bell chimes throughout the room. Having class be this long is pretty unusual, but at the end some of it was pretty interesting. Lethargy spans across the room as those around me begin packing their bags, ready to leave for lunch.
Remember, class, sometimes in life we have to make tough decisions. Investing in stocks isn't easy. Trust me.
It sounds like he's had experience. Right now, I too face a pretty rough decision. I'm still rather uneasy about the choice I made yesterday. The thought of leaving Kiyoko behind still pangs through me. On the outside, staying with Kiyoko is the right option, but not giving Naomi a chance either is certainly sticking with me. Asking him for advice couldn't hurt. People funnel out of class one by one as I approach Mr. Kabir's desk, making sure to check if Kiyoko has left too. Surprisingly, she has. Thought she would have stayed behind, but she does have her own life after all. Mr. Kabir glances towards me as I now confront him, the two of us alone in the classroom. Sir, I had a question.
Ask ahead, but please keep it brief. I have to leave soon.
Okay. I was thinking about what you said about decisions.
Yes, decisions can be tough.
I've made a decision, but I'm not sure if I should go back on it. I can't help but be vague. You probably wouldn't be interested in what's going on with Kiyoko and Naomi. By asking for his advice on it might prove to be useful.
I think you should just go with your gut. It might sound stupid, but if there is something inside you telling you what to do, listen to it.
That kinda makes sense. Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem. I hope you enjoyed today's class.
Not necessarily, but it wasn't that bad. Speaking with them too has given me a little sense of my situation as well. Mr. Kabir goes back to sorting the papers on his desk as I make my way into the corridor to head out to lunch. despite being pretty late now. In the end, I'll have to come to a decision eventually. The corridor is empty as I trace my way down to have lunch in this little bit of time left. I should try to get a small bite to eat. Afternoon classes come to an end rather quickly, presenting me with the opportune moment of making my final choice. Either I go with Kiyoko now to the science club, or come up with an excuse so I can trundle off with Naomi to hear what she has to say. As seats around become increasingly vacant, I too raise from my seat, ready to make my decision. I can't bear to leave Kiyoko behind. Siding with someone who openly strangled me, I think that going to science club is the right choice. If Kiyoko wanted me to know more about Naomi, then she'd tell me. Similarly, if Naomi wants to tell me, she'd be direct about it. Kiyoko turns to face me as I continue my way towards her desk at the front of the class. It's that smell. The smell built upon our club activities that kept me from going. From hearing your efforts to find a clubmate, turning my back on it would be the wrong thing to do. The entire thing is such a non-issue, but still, who wouldn't spend time with a cute girl at the class?
What's that expression for? Are you excited for the club?
Of course I am. I'm a member after all. Yeah, let's go. I've made the right choice. Having just passed the end of the school day marks the beginning of the serene atmosphere that now surrounds us. By my side, Kiyoko cheerfully walks along as we trace our way to the science labs once again. Provided that the stairwells, and thus the mass of students heading home, are on the other side of the corridor, being here is peaceful, especially when I'm with Kiyoko. Taking the decision not to intervene between her and Naomi's business, being able to see her as happy as her usual self spreads a sense of well-being. Soon enough, I feel our friendship will progress to the point where she's willing to tell me about it. Exactly what had caused their state of affairs. Swinging around behind her, the strands of her dark hair, loose from her ponytail, shine in the light gleaming from the windows lined alongside us. With that familiar smile still on her face, Kiyoko turns to me ready to speak up. It's a smile I've become accustomed to, and one which I'm happy to see.
What should we do today? We didn't get to do the experiment yesterday.
Filled with various emotions, her sentence brings back memories I think we're both better off forgetting. Well, she doesn't seem that phased now, but I still feel pretty awkward about it. What about a titration?
Ah, that's a great idea.
I'm only recalling what I saw in a notebook, and most things is sciencey. I wouldn't know how to do a titration. But I think we did in class once. Wait, really? Seeing Kiyoko this eager over one of my ill-informed suggestions brings a warmth to my heart. But surely she can come up with something better. Still, who am I to object? She's the club captain.
Of course it is. You should really have more faith in yourself.
Having her chastise me, even in jest, still feels kinda weird. As long as she's happy with it, and I don't really have any problems. Kiyoko swings back around, the two of us now facing the door to the lab. only for it to be slid open by her presumably soft fingers. I imagine she's enjoying herself, but her faint humming sells that point. An indistinct melody fills the space around us with a tune to reflect both our feelings. We both enjoy being here. Be a lie to say otherwise. The pressure from before having fleeted, all I should really care about is savoring the moment. I'm a member of the club. That's it. Joining Kiyoko inside, I watch as she prances around the room, grabbing bits and pieces to set up her experiment. Somehow slipping on her blazer and lab coat amidst all the kerfuffle.
We're going to have fun today, right?
Regardless of my own contributions to the club, the fact of the matter is I still find it fun. It's good to know she does too. Still, Kiyoko seems overly filled with passion for something she's been doing for all this time. Science must mean a lot to her. For me to have feelings like that, it'd be good. It'd be good to have passion. You seem pretty excited.
That's because I am.
A judder, a sudder, whatever you want to call it. Something isn't right about that. The glow of exhilaration that normally shines from her brown eyes has since been replaced with a look of despondency. She's sad? You okay?
I'm fine. Come on.
Woven between her words, unsteady breathing pokes through, revealing her true emotion. Her strong and short responses contrast the earlier upbeat and bouncy personality I know so well. It's not normal to see Kiyoko like this, at least not for me. I've only been friends with her for a short amount of time, but I still have the right to be concerned. Turning to face the window, now neglecting her previous intentions of setting up an experiment, continued agony listening to her silence things inside me. She's not trying to hide the fact that something is wrong. Kiyoko?
Please.
The cause. Could it be? There's something I want to talk to you about, Kiyoko. I can't know I'm right, but the emotions inside me are taking me in that direction.
You are going to find out eventually.
Perhaps in the end, her overly excited attitude was just a front, a distraction from this topic. She said it before, she'd rather not go into it. However, ultimately, it's just something that needs to be addressed. Naomi.
I knew you wouldn't let up. I saw you with her yesterday. It's Naomi, isn't it?
She turns to face me once again. The happy and carefree expression I'm used to seeing from her has been masked by her inner sadness at a moment's notice. How these feelings have resonated, but the problem is, I need to find out. I need to know how to make her smile again. You saw me with her? How? Denying the fact I was with Naomi would cause more harm than good. Severing my bond with Kiyoko is not in my interests. She's pretty smart, but I can't think of when she would have saw us. Naomi had long left by the time Kiyoko had come out and met me.
The lab looks over the school entrance. You two were there yesterday. Together.
They don't need confirming, but I don't stop myself from walking towards the window to join Kiyoko at her side. A brief glance downwards confirms her words. I'm an idiot for not noticing before. Here I stand, together with a girl struck by a deep sense of woe. I didn't want this to happen. I chose not to find out. I chose to be here with her. I wanted her to be happy.
We should just drop it. She isn't a nice person anymore.
Facing me again, Kyoko's glum expression coats her face as she looks back in a state of sadness. From what she said, there must be more behind it. Naomi must mean something to her. To be this upset, this hurt. You were friends, right? The only other scenario I can come up with is that Naomi is actually bullying her. The two seem so acquainted with one another, so it's not unreasonable to suggest it. Kiyoko did just say she used to be a nice person. If she were being bullied, surely someone other than me would have noticed. They are pretty famous around the school. Jittering at my words, Kiyoko looks towards the floor as she moves around her feet to mull over my question. Her breath, still ragged from anxiety, screams out from the silence. Despite being ever so gentle to the ear, seeing her like this hurts.
You could see that. She was a friend to me. But things have changed. I don't really want to get into it.
The pieces of Kyoko's past resonate through her words and the emotion she puts out towards me. It's clear that she and Naomi were once on good terms. Something must have happened to break them apart, to break their bonds. There must be a reason behind it. Kiyoko and Naomi still haven't gone over their own shortcomings. Both of them still hold on to their past. Wiping her eyes dry, clearing her sadness, Kiyoko pulls a smile as she brings her hands to her chest to feign a recovery.
Don't worry, it's nothing.
It could be that she's caught onto my own subdued aura, but she's trying her best to avoid talking about it. No matter what, she hasn't gotten over what's happened, and I don't think she'll be telling me anytime soon. I'll just have to speak to Naomi. She might be a little reluctant to talk after I turned her offer to meet her down, but in the end I want to know the entire story. If that's bad, it's something I can't accept. I don't want Kiyoko to have these feelings anymore. Anyway, you want to do that titration, right?
That's right.
When it comes down to it, I'm just as much of a member of the science club as she is. More so, I'm her friend. If there's anything you need me to do, let me know. Didn't create the club for nothing, right? Smiling once again, a slight breeze from the window tousles Kyoko's fringe as I wait for a response. This sight I'm happy to see. Moments ago I longed for the sight, her own happiness.
Just be here for me.
Clouds float through the evening sky as I watch nature paint a scenario in the outside world. The sky getting darker as the sun slowly creeps towards the horizon. It's a sign that our club activities are coming to an end for another day. Once again, we're finished. Me, not doing much but watch Kiyoko as she ran around during a titration. But it was fun.
That was fun.
Repeating my thoughts, Kyoko's once glum and melancholic aura has now returned to her usual eccentric one. Whether she's still faking it or truly feels this way, I'm unsure. One thing I am sure though, that she too enjoys the club. Seeing her upbeat brings about a sense of closure to the worries of the day. This feeling can't last for long though. It's a shame I couldn't do anything though.
You can if you want. But it's your fault if you break something.
Those giggles aren't fitting, since she was the one who almost killed us yesterday. But nevertheless, they're still cute. Resting her lab coat at the side of the room in her usual manner, Kiyoko turns to smile at me again, ready for us to head off home. Shall we go?
No! Let's just stay here for the next 16 hours until school starts tomorrow.
That's a joke, right?
But it'd be fun.
I guess. Spending time with her overnight, I'm not sure how to actually feel about it. It's not that's probably gone through most guys' heads. Even if it's a joke, it still seems like something odd for her to say. Walking out together, she swings her arms blissfully as if our conversation earlier hadn't even happened. Ignorant of her problems, in a way I feel the same. Being able to have these moments is something I think we can both cherish, without having to face the burdens of our past. Nevertheless, I'm going to have to speak to Naomi. I'm going to have to go into their past. Let's just hope she's willing to speak to me. Sounds of chatter resonate from the spatial plane around me as a hazy figure drifts in and out of view. Where am I? The sounds begin to fleet, yet one distinct voice makes itself out to me. A girl.
Wake up!
Ah! Jolting my eyes open, Kiyoko stands before me with a stern look on her face.
Just what are you doing falling asleep in class?
I'm sorry. Rather than focusing on the obvious cliche, Kiyoko looks onwards with pity as I slump myself upright against my chair. What I should take away from this is that I really need to rethink my sleeping pattern. Anyway, what is it, Kiyoko?
I need a favor.
Kiyoko uncharacteristically looks on with a childish pout as she stands above me, awaiting my response. So far she's been helping me, well, with giving me a purpose to stay behind after school. She's been a friend. What is it?
Wake up!
Ah!
Did you have a good sleep?
So it was a dream. Stares from my fellow classmates greet me from my slumber as Mr. Kimura stands before me, an agitated glare pointed right at me. Even Kiyoko, looking back from the front of the room, can't help but stifle a laugh.
If you're after a nap, I hear that the corridor is quite a good place to do it. I don't want you disrupting my lesson.
With his arm outstretched towards the door, I guess all I can do is take my cue and accept my fate. Sunlight beams through the windows, lining the walls ahead as my eyes trace their way down the corridor. No signs of life anywhere besides the world outside. It's been about 15 minutes now, considering that Mr. Kimura explicitly told me to wait a minute before I could come out to scold me. I could justify leaving. Having chosen to lean behind the protruded wall adjacent to the class door, nobody would notice either. Lifting my phone out of my pocket and bringing it to face my eyes, time is a clear sign that nobody's coming for me anytime soon. early lunch it is. Finding the cafeteria sparse and unpopulated, it's eerie to say the least. This vision, though, I can't help but think it's truthful. It's only really used by students once a day. The morning sun casts itself on the smooth tables across the hall, only really highlighting how much I appreciate its light. Probably a bit too much, but for one thing, we wouldn't have photosynthesis without it. Kiyoko would be proud. Whilst I'm here, I may as well make the most out of it. Knowing that the staff stock up the vending machines right before lunch, maybe I can grab something decent before they're all sold out. It might not be a 100% Welsh beef sandwich. It's not as if our own national cuisine isn't worth the cost of a few hundred yen, even if it comes wrapped in plastic. Reaching my hand out towards the machine, another quickly reaches out before me, slapping a button, at random, right before my eyes. There goes my money.
Hi!
Out of the machine drove a small box of chocolate-coated biscuit sticks, far from what I wanted. What do you think I am, some sort of Japan-crazed foreigner?
Really? I don't care what you are. Who in the world would put any thought over you? You're nothing but a loser.
For her to be here for one, she would. By the look on her face, I don't think she's particularly happy with my choice to favor Kiyoko over her. Nevertheless, I've been wanting to speak to her anyway. From Kyoko's own words, the two of them once held a friendship together. If I'm going to make her happy, I need to know exactly what their past is. Naomi's the only way to do that.
Anyway, how was the science club? I hope you enjoyed it after snubbing me yesterday.
I didn't snub you, considering you were the one who wanted to drag me out.
That's because it was important.
Well, you could have told me.
Didn't I make it clear enough? You know, you're the type of guy to go out and put fence panels up when there's a typhoon.
I don't get what you mean.
I mean, you're an idiot.
I guess that makes sense. Still, I couldn't just leave Kiyoko like that. Do you know what it feels like to be left alone?
Yeah, I do.
Peering towards Naomi's face, a sunken expression lays across it as tears sit upon her crystal eyes. To see her this way, maybe she too feels the same as Kiyoko. A girl hurt by her past. Just what exactly that past is, it's something I'll have to find out.
So, I guess I should probably tell you now, right?
Probably is an understatement. After my discussion with Kiyoko, the entire issue has been floating around my mind. Prior to that, even after just meeting Kiyoko, her past relationship with Naomi had been made manifest right before my eyes. Henceforth, after this moment, I truly ingrained myself between the lives of these two girls. Joining the science club was far enough. Now hearing what Naomi has to say is bound to make me a part of this. She won't want to tell me otherwise. She wouldn't need to. I'd like to hear it.
Fine. It's not like I don't want you to know. Things weren't always like this between us.
Naomi's pearly eyes look onwards as she continues to speak, face sullen. Seeing her like this, it's hard to lie myself with the thoughts I'd once had of her. From the beginning, I'd only assumed Kiyoko had been affected, but as I stare at her now, I know that's not the case. Turning to the machine beside us, Naomi slides in 2 coins into it and presses the button closest to me. The sweet bun I was after.
You could have this. I'll take these. It's a long story.
Holding up the snack she'd spent my money on, Naomi takes one out as she continues talking, her clear-cut dejection not stifling her appetite. It's contrast to her usual persona. I can't say it's unwelcome. Given the situation, I can say that I'm seeing a side of her not many people get to witness.
I just can't bear to face her normally. I want to be myself again.
Naomi's eyes drop towards the floor as she stares at her feet, moving them about uncharacteristically, rather the character I had come to know. Seeing her like this, hearing the woe in her voice, it's a sight which brews sympathy through my now fast-beating heart. It's not time for jokes any longer. What exactly happened between you two?
You know, I'm the captain of the athletics team, right? It's not just track.
Of course I'd known. Everyone in the school practically does. Naomi, a track superstar around her, micromanages pretty much every sports club in the school. Out of her own accord, that is. Her own duty, however, is chairing the athletic squad. Something she's good at, considering the number of titles the team has won.
We lost a member not too long ago. An important one. To me.
Kiyoko. Wincing at my words, Naomi shoots her eyes up towards me as her tears sparkle in the light now greeting her face. Reaction is enough to validate my own assumption. Despite having the figure for it, even if I wasn't supposed to see, it's a surprise to think Kiyoko was on the athletics team.
I just can't bear to face her normally. I want to be myself again.
Her repetitions, her words, her emotions flowing out from within. I can't really dispute the emotions clouding the situation. Naomi, standing across, is truly recalling something she's kept to herself all this time. Her voice, her expression, her breathing. All of it tells a true sense of grief. And coming to terms with that what their bond once was is going to be hard for me, an outsider. I'm guessing she left then. She's in the science club now, right? Rather than being a proper club, it's really just the two of us using the lab after school. Moreover, me just watching her play around in her experiments. For her to leave quite an established squad of girls just to sit in the room on her own with some test tubes, her dedication to science must have gotten the best of her. I still won't explain why they're so upset.
Kiyoko's always liked science. She didn't leave. She was kicked out.
But you're the captain. Are you saying you did it?
Of course not! Just because I'm the captain doesn't mean I control the club! It's managed by the sports board. They did it.
Despite not knowing what the sports board is, it's something that seems believable enough coming from her. The teardrops swelling in her eyes are enough to say she isn't lying. This is her true self. All I can do is accept her. This isn't easy for her. Seeing her so sorrowful isn't exactly easy for me too. Tears don't suit her. So why was she kicked out? Naomi, swallowing spit to restrain her nervousness, looks away at the question. As we continue to mull over the situation, the emotions within her continue to brew deep inside her heart.
We cheated. We helped her win. There was a race at another school, so we messed up their kids. We just wanted to help her win. We really did. But they found out. We told them it wasn't her fault. They didn't believe us. She was banned from competition and kicked from our club after that.
So many words, yet so little time to take them in. Naomi and Kiyoko's other clubmates had wanted her to win, but they clearly chose the wrong way to support her. Despite Naomi's sullen face before me, I still can't deny that I feel a little bit pissed off. Do you know how much that hurt her? She was supposed to be your friend.
You think I don't know that? I was her friend! Her best friend! Now, it's nothing! You think I don't hate myself enough? I tried to apologize, but an apology isn't enough for something like that!
Naomi's cheeks now shine in the glow of the vending machine, soaked by her very tears. I may be irritated, but a sight like this just swells sympathy within me. It's clear to her what she did. Standing here and confessing the truth to me can only hurt her more. Having to face the truth about her bonds with Kiyoko. The two girls, mutually hurt by her actions. If that's the case, why are you so hostile to Kiyoko? Why did you want me away from her?
It was upsetting. Seeing you with her? Seeing that she made a new friend? I'm sorry.
Lifting her head, Naomi points her moist eyes my way. A desolate look beams from her tears. She was jealous.
Kiyoko wouldn't talk to me after the race. She wouldn't listen to my apologies, my pleas. But she became friends with you. It hurt me.
Hearing her say it, I can't blame her. To be replaced by someone else, trying so hard to mend the wound she'd inflicted upon their relationship with her very hands. I can't imagine that feeling. Pulling out yet another chocolate-coated stick, Naomi's caused it in an instant, almost to soothe over her pain, coating it with that very chocolate.
Please. I want you to help me.
I'd rather just stick to this bun, thanks.
Not these. These are mine. I want you to help with Kiyoko.
My mistake. Nevertheless, Naomi's passion rises up from her previous woe, her heart speaking out to me. If she's really asking me for help, it'd be a stretch to say she hates me for being Kyoko's friend. Rather, she sees me more as an equal. What do you want me to do exactly?
I want you to change her opinion of me, so she'll talk again.
How I'm supposed to do that, I wouldn't know. Neither do I know Naomi's true objective here. Then again, I'm really the only person she can rely on. Kiyoko doesn't speak to anyone else. I mean, I could try. But it wouldn't be as easy as, hey, how about that Naomi girl? She's not going to be that talkative. Just mentioning Naomi to her causes Kiyoko to well up similar feelings to ones I see before me. Bright, happy smile, downcast with misery over the old bonds these two girls once shared. To get her to talk again, let alone to become friends with Naomi once more, it won't be an easy task. Naomi, too, staring ahead, her cheeks still dampened, owes just as much to their past as Kiyoko does. I'll find a way.
You'll help me?
Despite how she's treated me, despite her outward persona, Naomi's sensitivity and knowledge shears are very hard, but mine too. After all, she was Kyoko's friend.
I knew you would. You can't resist spending time with a girl like me.
Wiping tears from her eyes, Naomi makes an attempt to perk up to her usual self. She might be a little bite to her, but But at the end of the day, I can't bring myself to hate her. Maybe I enjoy spending time with her after all.
Thank you.
Looking at me with a smile. It's a pair of words I didn't think I'd hear her say. Seeing her like this, seeing her inner self, I can't refrain from appreciating her beauty.
Anyway, just eat your bread and vamoose. People might see us together.
Vamoose. But Kiyoko, am I supposed to tell you how things go with her?
I don't know. You're in the science club, use your head.
That doesn't necessarily make me clever. I'm not Kiyoko. You could just give me your number and I could text you. Judging by the look on her face, I don't think she approves of this idea.
Of course you'd want my number. Fine, have it. You'll need it anyway. Give me your phone. I'm not going to do anything with it.
Still taking her words with a grain of salt, I steadily pass her my phone. Tapping away at the screen, Naomi still holds that same disgusted look. I've never had a sweaty girl give me her number before. Her gym kit is enough to suggest that she has just finished training. Surprising, considering it's just the middle of the day.
Ew. Has any girl given you their number before? I bet you haven't even had a girlfriend either.
Naomi's words sting my soul, sign that things are starting to return to normal between us. All I can do is accept her jabs if I want to help Kiyoko, and reluctantly her too. What about you? Have you ever had a boyfriend? That doesn't mean I can't throw my own back. Her face glows a shade of rose as she averts her eyes away to the side, before returning them with a sharp glare.
So what if I haven't? Why would I waste my time with someone like you when I could be training?
What do I have to do with it?
Nothing. Just shut up. Tell me how things go with Kiyoko.
Turning away with a huff, Naomi walks out towards the canteen's doors just as the lunch bell hits. She sure timed that perfectly. Regardless, reflecting on our discussion really highlights the mammoth of a task set upon me. But something I'm willing to do. Having spoken to her one-to-one, Naomi's inner feelings have been shown to me, something I don't think she lets many other people see. Inside, I really want to help them. I want to see them smile again.
I thought you were here to join the science.